All right, we are live.
Yo,
It's the
yo.
late. We late in the fourth quarter. What is it? A minute left.
Yeah. We
Clippers.
got we got a minute. They going through these highlights. I can't see the whole score at the time
Yeah,
just yet.
man. What you watching? Yeah. We. This is the first time we jump on. We like at the same spot.
Yep. Yeah, so it's what 58 seconds left. That's what you got?
Yep. 58. Right on. Free throws.
Check it. Man.
Denver trying to pull off a miracle. I don't think it's gonna happen in the Intuit Dome.
Nah, man, unless it's gonna be something catastrophic, I don't see nothing
Right.
else really happening outside of this L that they're about to embark. I mean, this win that embark on.
Let's see. All right, we go to this. Boom, boom,
But that's
and
you've been getting a pretty balanced game through Denver's top five. I mean, they're starting five.
right, right. And I think this is
And
playing out. Go ahead, go ahead. Oh, trap.
now, and I was just think that top five was just waiting on Murray to show up.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. And once he got going, that's when the series kind of took off. That's
It
when
started
Denver
tilting.
got going. But I think at the end of the day, this series is playing out like we expected. We thought. I think we both named this series to be the best one out of the first round. And I don't know if it's the best, but we're about to get a game 7, so it's pretty dang good.
Right. And that's crazy because in that this game 7, those is always scary because
Mm-hmm.
anything can go. And if
Yeah,
the slightest thing goes away for either team, somebody going home fishing.
exactly,
Somebody,
exactly.
somebody gonna be
Join. Is the Clippers working on joining your Lakers? Is everybody in LA gonna be at home?
uh man, you know what? I would say um I would say no.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Clippers will advance.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're going to advance. And it's one person in particular why the claw
Mm.
that Kawhi. I feel like Kawhi Leonard has something special, man. And the fact that he's healthy, I feel like he's going to not allow, but I feel like he's gonna will his team together and
Mm-hmm.
win.
Yeah,
Um,
nah, man.
I
He's
think
different. He's
he
different.
is. I think Denver is probably the hotter team.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I think also it's kind of hard to bet against Kawhi for me.
Right. Right. No, we talked about, obviously Joker was, a lot of people consider him the best player in the NBA, hands down or whatever. But in this series, Kawhi, he's showing that, when he's at his best, when he's 100%, he's right up there with the best of them. And
Yes.
you know, he's been, whether it's on the offense or like he's impacting both sides of the ball. It was that game
Exactly.
one where he guarded Joker, for a long period of the game, showing he could still, defend 1 through 5, like doing what superstars do. And what he got tonight? Tonight he got 26 on 11 of 21 from the field, 9 rebounds, 4 assists.
Yeah. Yeah. He got a well together game.
And Joker doing his normal 25, 7, and 8. But
25-7.
yeah, but the Clippers, man, Clippers is shoot, when was the last time the Clippers made it to the second round? With Chris Paul and them was there.
With Chris Paul, Blake, and them.
What? Who do you think that game? B
Did they
Huff,
have?
man. He said who we think winning game 7?
I got
I think the Clippers. I got the Clippers. I don't know if you know how we talk about we get on a lot of American players with it's like they don't really love basketball or want to play. They don't really want it like that. But we don't say that about the Joker. And the Joker kind of blatantly puts out there that he's not too thrilled about going deep into the playoffs. He's just along for the ride. So I think the Clippers are hungry. I think the Clippers had a team to do it, and Zubac has been doing a solid job on the Joker as well. Last game held him 13 points.
Yeah,
I think the Clippers go to Denver and get that game 7.
I agree. And what's kind of been going kind of under the radar is the job that Zubac has been doing on Joker. Zubac having them real extraordinary numbers that he's used to having against other centers. And
Right.
Zubac, what he did last, what was it? What's today? Thursday? What was it? Tuesday when they played?
Yeah.
He had a pretty monstrous game himself. And you're starting to see that Zubac is actually challenging him on both ends. Physical on him with the defense, and also he's bringing an offensive presence to him to make him work on the other end too.
Yeah. He's keeping him busy. He's not out there just taking up space. He's being physical with him. He has the size to be physical with him. Like he's not a small dude. He's somebody that I thought the Lakers shouldn't have let go, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
But Harden, James Harden is another guy that's stepped up lately. He got like 28 tonight, near triple double.
Yeah,
he Paul Murray missed the 3.
Yeah, this one is over. Go ahead.
Yeah, we got to get that 7.
Yeah, you're gonna go into Denver. It ain't the Mount High, but it's something like that. They're in Denver.
yeah. The altitude and stuff or whatever. It's, Denver. This is what they played all season for to get home court advantage. They got home court advantage in a game 7 in the first round. But yeah, I think unlike we talked about JJ Redick and the coaching job he did with the Lakers. He did a great job during the season. I think he fell short in the in the playoffs. He made some rookie mistakes.
Right.
Ty Lue looks composed. He looks like he got he got a veteran squad and they all believe in. Like even though they're coming from behind, I think they really feel like they can get this series. And if I'm a Denver Nugget fan, which now I think about it, I ain't never really met no Denver Nugget fan like ever. But I guess we got to go to Denver to find them. But if I'm a Denver Nugget fan, I'm worried.
In Denver.
Yeah, right. Yeah. They probably Laker fans.
Yeah, for sure. Lakers fans, we universal, man. We all across these 50 plus states, man.
Yeah.
But I do like kind of what you were saying about Ty Lue. You're seeing the experience. You're seeing somebody that's been there. You're seeing somebody that's coached inexperienced teams and also coached experienced teams that are making adjustments and rocking with the guys that are showing.
Right.
And you're seeing him do his job. And I think JJ Redick is going to eventually come to that point.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, and this is the thing that I also wanted to ask. Do you think that we as fans and people who watch sports analysts, do you think our expectations was too high for JJ Redick this year?
I don't. I wouldn't say too high. I think it was just kind of how he came about getting the job. Like, he go from, the podcast with LeBron and being an analyst himself and stuff to getting the coaching job. The Lakers, that's a huge job. That's not like, you know, getting coaching the Houston Rockets, even though they're a good team. You know,
Right.
the Lake Show is different. So
Yeah.
to get that job, the expectations is gonna be high. And
That's true.
I think he understood that. I think he understood that. And I think, at times the pressure got to him, but it just is what it is when it comes to, that expectation. Cause it's not about him. Like the Lakers, and we seen that, with LeBron. I'm a LeBron guy or whatever. So when
Right.
LeBron came to the Lakers, it wasn't like, Laker fans wasn't just like, oh yeah, we like LeBron now. It was like, nah,
Oh,
bro, what have you done with us? Like until you
right.
get that chip, you know what I mean? Like Brown was still an outsider. And even now with one, he's still, there's still some diehard fans that kind of, you know, they
Yeah.
don't love him like a Shaq or Kobe or one of
Right.
the Laker all time greats. So
Right.
I think JJ just gotta, he gotta earn his respect. And I do feel like he thought he would just have it.
Right.
And that ain't LA.
At all. At all. I mean, it's a team that's over the years you've seen constantly churn out superstars that won championships. So it's
Right.
not that we're not accustomed to seeing. It's not something that we're not used to having. You're a part of something that's, I mean, truthfully, is probably bigger than you. You're kind of falling in like the middle of the pack as a Laker. Now
Right.
LeBron, as the NBA great that he is, his story, everything that he's brought to the NBA. Yeah, you're up there in that aspect. But as a Laker, you kind of in the middle of the pack.
Right. And
Oh,
I and I
so
think I think rightfully so. I think rightfully so. I think if he wins won't happen this year, but if he wins a
hey
second
man,
ring.
what's up with all these jabs, man? These Laker digs, man. I felt that one right there. That one hit right there under that third rib, man. Boy, Lord have mercy. The Lakers,
My
but
bad.
nah, you good. Hey,
My
because
bad.
we deserve it. Then we got to be able to. We dish it. We talk a lot, so we got to be able to take it.
Hey, and that's when the NBA is at. The NBA is at its best when the Lakers are good, which the Lakers were good this year. They've been good, you know, the last few years. But you got to be able to talk trash to Lakers. Like y'all have to endure, a lot of trash talking. What even when y'all good, because
Right.
it's trash talking and it's hate. A lot of it's hate. Like the Kobe days. I was one of the biggest haters, and I couldn't stand watching y'all win championships all the time or whatever. It
All,
just it
all you had to
it,
do is step over, dog. Just come this way a little
it
bit, man. Hey, it's
man.
okay. It's okay.
And you
Especially
know
when
what? I'm gonna tell the truth. I'm gonna be honest. I remember, and it was a tweet I had put out a long time ago, and I was like, if LeBron James ever became a Los Angeles Lakers player, I wouldn't be a fan of LeBron no more. I remember saying that. And yeah, that was a lie. That was a lie. But it did.
so the hate for the Lakers is way stronger than your love for your favorite basketball.
I thought it
Okay.
was. It was. I
Okay.
couldn't do it, man. I could. So I got. I had. I'm not bleeding purple and gold, but I got a tattoo. I'll just say that I
Okay.
tattooed it. I ain't bleeding it though.
We'll take that. We'll take that. We'll take that. Hey, if you don't mind though, while we here, I do want to give a shout out because we're speaking about basketball. I want to give a
Yes,
shout
sir.
out to Kaylon Mason. who's attending Ranger College right now, Ranger Junior College in Ranger, Texas. He's graduating tomorrow with his AA degree. I just want to give him a shout out, man. You know, his story is special. It's special, and to see him at this level and this page in his time in his life right now is something to really witness as an uncle. So shout out, go get that degree, nephew, and continue to keep rolling. I just wanted to give a shout out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, that's dope. That's I've seen him go. Well, I ain't never seen him little because he's always been tall.
Always tall.
But, man, congrats, man. I'm proud of you, man. Keep going. You know, the sky's the limit. Got a lot of life to live it up. You know, do it to the fullest, man. Keep applying pressure and everything that you want to do. Anything's possible.
There you go. There you go. I remember Mark Haynes hated school.
Oh man. I might still hate it a little bit, but I'm an avid supporter of everybody going to school, getting their degree, get you know what I mean, get your education is important. Don't be like me.
Hey, that was one class that you did like though.
What's
Miss
that?
Yard class Sites theater class.
Oh, man. That was, who didn't like that class?
Hey, theater class was off the hook, man. It made you want to go to school every day, I promise.
Hey, right? I think I had made sure that I had that period early in the day. It was like the second class of the day. That class, you know, that class got me going. I'll just say that class got me going.
Right.
Shout out to Edison High, you know, the alma mater, man. We raised champions over there.
That's it, nothing less. Hey, I do got a question though for you. So realistically, if the Clippers, and I guess you can say it for either team, Clippers or Denver, what's their possibilities of really making a run at the championship or NBA Finals this year if they surpass this first round? One of them is going to surpass, but what do you realistically their chances in the finals?
Who they playing next in the second round? Is that
they're gonna have Houston? No. Is
no.
This one?
Hold up.
Okay.
Hold up. OKC got who did Memphis lose to?
Well, OKC played.
OKC. Hold on. Let me answer this correctly real quick. Hold up. Cause the war, yeah. So to answer your question, because they'll be playing OKC next. Yeah. They have zero chance of making it to the final. Zeros. Nuggets, Clippers. If the Nuggets and Clippers combine their team, dang. Zero. Okay. See that this might, the fact that this series is going 7. This might just be a slow death in the second round. Like they just, buying time. That might be why Denver lost tonight. They're like, you know what? Not in no rush to get over there, man. We know what's gonna happen. I
know what's over there. I know what's on the other side of that mountain.
Let's just get some money. Let's make our get our arena another check. The workers and all that. But yeah, it's
right.
Zero.
Do you see? Is this gonna be quick, sweet, gentleman sweet? How do you see it's gonna be?
I'm just looking at. I'm giving it's gonna be a gentleman's sweep. That's as much respect as I'm willing to give. I'm giving OKC in 5. That's as much respect as I can give them. OKC is rested. Man, it feel like they ain't played in 2 weeks.
It's almost You almost forget that they're even in the playoffs right now.
Yeah. That's what, like, when you asked me that question, I was like, hold on, who they play next? Do they play the Warriors Rockets? And I was like, hold on, let me. Yeah, that OKC Memphis series been over so long. John them and Cancun living it up.
They on day 3.
Picking up Bron and them from the airport.
Hey, Brown, we stand over here. We're in this resort.
They know all the hot spots and everything. They're like, it's lit over here.
That's hilarious.
But I don't know, man. I'm rocking with OKC all the way to the end. I think they go win it. I think they go. I think it's gonna be OKC and Boston in the finals, and I think it's gonna be a really good series. But I got OKC winning it. They are just too deep and too talented.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay. I ain't mad at it.
Hold on. But I will say this. I think if a team is going to beat them in the West,
I already know which one.
Rolling with Ant-Man in Minnesota, man.
Hey, I was thinking the same exact. Yeah. If they match with the Warriors in the semifinals or the finals, Western Conference Finals, that's gonna be a dogfight.
Yeah. Cause I like that. I like that second round matchup. I'm assuming it's Minnesota Warriors, and if Minnesota get past them to get to the conference finals to meet the Thunder, that's gonna be another one. And like after Minnesota won that game, it was a clip of LeBron, dapping up Ant, and he was like, take that next step or whatever.
Yeah.
And the playoffs is where you do that. The playoffs is where you make your name. That's where you build your legacy. And I think he understands that. I think he's locked in, and the rest of those guys, they follow suit.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny you say that because I was over dinner earlier today. I was telling my nephew, I honestly think that Ant Edwards is probably my new favorite basketball player in the NBA right now.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
For me, I only say that because I don't know if it's me, but and I might be jumping out there, but there's a lot of Kobe Jordan in Ant-Man right now, and it ain't the scoring or anything. It's mentality, and I think I said that weeks ago or week. It's just the mentality that you see that I want every bit of what's coming this way. Oh, it's a fire door over there. Oh, I mean, in that room. Bet, let's go. I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna see what's over there, and I'm gonna test the waters, and then follow suit. It's that mentality that you see. Ant-Man is for real, and he galvanized that team. He willed them. Go Gobert, and I don't even want to keep going back to this Lakers series, but he will Gobert to 27. What was it, 27, 25?
Yeah, something like that.
That's Ant-Man. That's Will from his young superstar that he trusts. Ain't many OGs following behind no young boy.
Right.
And he like, I'm hey, Ant-Man, where we going? I got you. And you're seeing that leadership in Ant-Man. So he's one of my favorite, if not, no, bump that. He's my favorite NBA basketball player right now, currently.
See, and that's what he's growing on me. Like each game, he's growing on me. It's for me, it's between him and and I always liked kind of outside of LeBron or whatever. Everybody I liked was kind of semi-problematic a little bit. Like Tracy McGrady was always getting in the fights and getting ejected and stuff, and that was my dog or whatever. But my two is Ant, and then it's Ja Morant or whatever.
Okay.
And
I ain't mad at that.
But I think both are very similar. But Ant is being able. He's been showing it on the big stage, and even back to last year when they played Phoenix, and he's going at KD because he's like, this is my, he was my favorite player growing up.
Right. I
want to kill him.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I love that. I love that. When you're a competitor, you know what I'm saying, when you're in between them lines, the friendship and the admiration and all that is gone. And you don't see that in a lot of the young guys, today. And everybody's twin and everybody's, big bro or uncle, whatever or whatnot.
Right.
But with Ant, like I was seeing on I haven't watched the series, but that Netflix series, Starting Five.
Yeah, a lot of
as soon as he gets on, he's talking about he don't look up to anybody. And he's like, of course I want to kill LeBron, one-on-one if I get the chance.
Right.
Or whatever. He the top dog. And he's like, the only way you become the top dog is by beating the top dog.
Facts.
So I think the Lakers, like we're calling this a disappointing, first round exit. But this Minnesota Timberwolves team is a good team. And if they, make a run, then maybe just the Lakers just ran up against a superior team that was clicking.
Yep.
And I think Minnesota is that good, especially if Ant continues to play the way he's been playing.
Facts. I've read a stat this morning. They said that the Lakers, or that 3 seed to 6 seed, was literally one game that separated them. Mm-hmm. I think Lakers was at 50 wins.
Yeah.
Lakers was at 50 wins. Minnesota was at 49.
Right.
And it shows you that separation was not far. It wasn't a big gap. So we look at it based on names, right? Lakers got Luka. They just got Ant-Man. They got way more than just Ant-Man because they only got one less game in the win column than us or the Lakers.
Right.
So he has a complete team. I think Minnesota got a bench that's a lot deeper than what we think.
Yep.
And that those are recipes for deep runs in the playoffs.
Yep.
So
we could be in store for a magical run from them because how they beat the Lakers, that was impressive. How he played, was impressive. And yeah, he's the next, young superstar, as long as he keep on this trajectory and, keep his, keep all the outside noise on the outside and stick to basketball, which I believe he will do.
Right.
But as we were talking about this, I started thinking I was like, yeah, who are my favorite, like, young players? And there's one more person that I have to add to that list who just got eliminated today, but in the Eastern Conference is Cade Cunningham for the Detroit Pistons.
Yes, sir.
I really, really like Cade. I like Cade. I like that him and our guy Jalen Green from Fresno. I like that they have, basketball beef or whatever, that they publicly let it be known. Like,
right.
He know what he is.
They don't shy from it.
Yeah, it is what it is or whatever. But he took a jump this year. He went from being, a prospect to, averaging 25, 7 and 7, whatever it was, and became an all-star this year.
Right.
And I think he's going to continue to get better because when I was seeing when Detroit was bad, when they were really, really bad, and I was watching him the few games that I did watch. I'm not going to act like I was just studying Detroit losing games.
Detroit, man. It is Detroit.
It's Detroit. But, I had to pay attention to him. He was the number one pick. I had to see why he went over Jalen and stuff. And when I watched him, I understood like he was making all the right plays. At 19, 20 years old, whenever, however old he was when he came in, he was making the right passes, just guys were missing. He was
Right.
getting to his spots. His jump shot just wasn't developed yet. And I was like, man, if he get a jump shot and if he get good players around him, like this dude is gonna be amazing. He's 6'6", played a point guard, already got a grown man body.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, he's gonna be really, really good. And this year he took that jump. They took the Knicks to 6 games, but it's all over for them. And
Right.
now the Knicks moving on, and we will have in the East where we got New York. Wow.
Is it Cleveland?
No, New York and the Celtics.
Oof.
That's like what I'm liking in the East that a lot of people not talking about much is we're getting classic, Eastern Conference matchups. We just came from the Knicks and the Pistons. Now from the Knicks and the Pistons, we going straight to the Knicks, Knicks and Celtics.
Oof. In that guard.
That's dope. And then it looks hypothetically, if things go well, if the Pacers win like we kind of disrespectfully said they will,
right?
If the Pacers went to the conference finals, we could get Pacers Knicks potentially.
Right. A lot of nostalgia.
Yeah. It's making me feel like a kid. It's turning me into a fan.
Right. But that's that old saying. And great organizations gonna eventually be great, regardless of what they may be at a certain point in time. At some point, they're gonna get it together and they're gonna be right back to where they've always been. Pacers probably haven't won championships, but they've always been in the thick of playoff. They've always been a hard out with your Steven Jacksons, your Ron Artest, your Reggie Millers, your those level of players. They've always been in the mix, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. I do think that's one of those series that's probably gonna get overlooked because it is in the East, but it's all as a whole, playoffs as a whole. There's some great series.
Yes.
That's in the second round.
Yeah.
That is shoot, man. Truthfully, that is beautiful to watch.
Right.
It gives a little bit more excitement to watch.
And Mace, man, what do you why do you think, we've the last few years, the NBA ratings and stuff has been down. People ain't really been tuning in like how they have in the past. But right now, the playoffs are exciting. The games are fun to watch and people are tuning back in. What about the games are you liking when you're watching these different games?
I may sound a little against the OGs, but what I like about this is you're seeing the change of the guard with the old superstars to what these new superstars is doing right now. And I think that you're getting more younger eyes connected to the playoffs. Because you're seeing a lot of these younger players. I mean, your Morant, your Ant Edwards, your Kate Cunninghams, your Shea, your Jason and Jaylen Browns, your Brunson. You're getting these young players that's stepping into this new light where you're seeing. I mean, sad to say, your LeBrons, your KDs, your like you're seeing these these older guys kind of getting pushed out the way and saying, "Hey, man, look, sorry, OG, it's our time now." And I think that's an excitement.
Yep.
That's bringing more eyes to this playoff berth, and they not just like walkover playoff series outside of the OKC and maybe the Cleveland and Miami. A lot of these series is close.
Yep.
Even if they ain't going 7, the games are close.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, on a nightly basis. No, I agree with you 100%. Because yeah, it's all the new faces, and for the last 10 years, everybody talk about Father Time and stuff, and how LeBron, Steph, KD, all of them, they've been ahead of Father Time, and they still been on top of the league. But now the young guys, they're taking over. Like, and the fact that all the big superstar names are getting eliminated. Now I have to watch Jalen Brunson. Then it's like,
Right,
dang,
right,
Jalen Brunson just hit 40 in a closeout game. Jalen
right.
Brunson this. Shea Gillies Alexander, like, oh, he really, I think some people don't, we when it comes to the MVP or whatever, whether Joker wins it or not is a different discussion. But I don't know how many people watch SGA. I don't know how many people watch Ant Edwards,
Right.
and see how talented they are. But then when you see them against the big superstars and future Hall of Famers, you see it. You get those, like, you think about when Kobe. You think about the All Star game where Kobe was in the All Star game with Jordan, and he's talking trash to Jordan. He's guarding Jordan all tough in the All Star game and stuff.
Yeah.
And we went years without seeing young players challenge the big dogs.
Right. Right.
And now we're getting that, and we're seeing this transition. Yeah, the young dudes is taking over. That's how Father Time works.
Yeah.
Wasn't nobody gonna take the throne from LeBron, or LeBron wasn't giving the throne to anybody.
Right.
Steph ain't giving. Even this Houston like the Rockets, they have a chance. They have a chance to win the series still. But
Yep.
you got to go get it, because they
Yeah.
they ain't laying down. They're professionals. They know how to win games, and they're still really, really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
And I was just gonna say, and credit to the OGs, they still hungry.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
they will add to their legacy as much as they wanna maybe wanna go home and lay down and be older gentlemen. Cause I know how it is, but hey, man, I'm 37, 38. When I'm not home, I miss my bed.
man, man. Who you telling?
So,
Who you telling? I'm
man, so
I'm thinking about my bed right now.
right,
you start approaching 40. Your back start hurting for no reason. Your knees. The other day,
right,
I was just walking and I hurt my hip. I don't know what happened. And hips. That's something I think happened when you in your 50s and 60s. But
right.
man, I thought I was gonna have to go to the doctor. I didn't know what was going on.
Oh, you ain't been there yet? Oh, you ain't been there yet? Oh, yeah. Okay, don't worry about it. It's coming. I I was down. I kid you not. I was down for almost 2 weeks picking up a shoe, and my back went out. You do daily picking up shoes, moving shoes. I picked up a shoe, and I was down for 2 weeks. Heavy medication. I hate taking. I hate taking medication. Heavy medication had your boy down.
Oh
so
my
I,
god.
it's like us being older gentlemen. You watch these OGs running up and down these courts. Man,
Man,
I admire. You admire. You like, man, look, they still out there getting it. I ain't doing it, but they still out there getting it, and they making these young boys really fight, or not even fight. They're making them really earn they keep, as they
yeah,
should,
yeah,
as they should, because it's only going to progress and grow the league. You know what I mean?
exactly.
So and that's a great thing. So
Exactly.
I like what I'm seeing throughout the NBA right now.
Yes, sir. Yeah, nah, exactly. Nah, the league is for sure going to be in good hands. You got, we didn't even talk about, the Victor Wembanyama's of the world and stuff
Oh,
or whatever.
at all.
It's yeah, the league is going to be just fine when LeBron do retire at 48 years old, and Steph at 45, and KD. I can see KD playing, and he might not even retire. They might have to just say, KD, just stay home today. Just take a day off.
Just leave.
But no, it's gonna be good, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of these playoffs. I'm also looking forward to the second round, because in the second round we'll get some days off. We've been,
Hey,
we've been every day in this first round, which I appreciate you for rocking with me, Mace, day by day. I appreciate everybody that's tuning in on a daily and
sir.
supporting the page and stuff, and enjoying our clips when we being silly or serious. But
Right,
yeah, we'll get some breaks in the second round, second and third. We'll get some breaks.
man.
So
Hey,
we'll
look.
have a little more energy.
Hey, there you go. Look, I'm almost what I was just talking to another a coworker of mine, a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and both simultaneously said 6 weeks left for school.
Yeah.
6 weeks. So we counting down in our mind like,
Mm.
hey, we got 6 more. We out of here. 27 days.
Hey,
So
and that's what people don't understand. Like, you know, like covering the NBA is fun, right? It's
yeah,
fun in hindsight to me. After a while, like once you start doing it for so long, in hindsight, I have to remind myself, like, yo, this is really dope. Like,
yeah,
I'm like a paid season ticket holder or
right.
whatever, but I ain't have to buy the season ticket. I just get to go, and I get to, talk to the players, or walk
Right.
around and stuff. But after 82 games and a full season, and when it's a playoff, bro, it turns into work. And
Right.
I'll be like, man, when is the season over? So when the
Right.
Kings got eliminated, I was not mad. I was not upset at all. I was like, that this means I get a little more rest, whatever, it's cool. Season over, good year, blah blah blah. But yeah, it's really, it turns into work.
Right.
And
Right. Now you done picked up a new hobby. Now we the
yeah,
closers.
yeah, now we the closers,
Uh,
and we go rock this thing out, and
big fact.
we go have fun doing it too, man. But speaking of
I want.
which, man, let's close this thing out, and
Okay.
you know
I
we'll do it.
I wanted to. I
Oh,
wanted to
go ahead.
get to this, and the only reason I wanted to get to it is because it's a competitive story, right? So
Uh-huh.
this is a story between me and
All right,
you.
this is
Right?
good story time.
Oh, you know how it go. You know how it goes. So you remember, right, when we first started for Computech, right?
Uh-huh.
Football. So
Yep.
it was a competitive thing that
Mm-hmm.
both took, right? So remember we lined up in Oklahoma's.
Yep.
Right? 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 So we looking at each other. We know both of us got some skill. We know both of us is gonna bring it.
Yep.
Nobody's gonna give up. Uh, but we took that challenge as
Uh-huh.
like best friends at that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and we both lined up, hit each other, went black. I
Black.
don't even. I went completely black, like blacked out. All I
Did
remember is we falling sideways.
That's it. That's it. And then
All
you was up, and it was like, all right. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if we want to do that again.
right at all, at all. I did not want to see you again. I did not want to line up in fields with you no more. But what that did was, and I never really thought about it this way until now. I think what that did was it showed the rest of that team that if
Yeah.
these two can compete in practice, and we know how close they is, we know that you ain't gonna see Mark without Dalen, Dalen without Mark.
Yep.
that means we can do the same thing and still maintain a healthy friendship.
Yeah.
And
No.
and we end up winning championship that year. So that competitive drive, it doesn't just it's not just you against me. It's I want to see the best out of you just like you want to see the best out of me. And I
Yeah.
know I'm gonna get the best out of you if I give you the best out of me. So hey,
Absolutely.
best man win. And we're gonna
That's
leave it.
it.
That's it.
That's it. And I think Ant Edwards is thinking the same thing. I
Great.
imagine in practice he's going at dudes just like that.
Yeah.
Carlo Rossi, what's up, man? So he just jumped in. But
Yeah.
yeah, nah, that do I and I'm glad you brought that up because you are right about that. Because you remember when we got to Computech, when we got to that team, we looked at the team and we was like, man, we ain't gonna win no games.
You
You
know what
know,
we had.
we didn't know and whatever. And I don't know if I don't know if shout out Roderick and Whittle, Santana, Tadashi, all our coaches. I don't know if they knew, putting us against each other that day would light that fire in everybody else
Right.
or whatever. Because I do feel like because that happened early in the season too, and I
It
do
did.
think that's kind of what catapulted that
Yep.
undefeated season.
Yep.
I think we lost the pregame and that was it.
That was
Everything
it.
everybody else got smacked, but it was it's people don't understand. With being a competitor or whatever,
Right.
when your guy is on the other side, your best friend, your brother, whoever is on the other side, they're on the other side. They're the op, for the whether it's that play, whether it's that game or
Right.
whatever. And in order to be the best that you could be, you got to push
Collect
each other. You got to push each other to the max because
facts.
those other dudes, they coming at you, they hate you.
Right.
They want to kill you. You know what I'm
Genuine.
saying? So yeah. So you gotta be able to bring it. And that's what in this playoffs, like I think OKC is the best team, right? But I think Ant Edwards, like you said, has that in him, and the rest of the team is following.
Yep.
And the rest of the team is believing, which is
Yep.
go give them a chance, which could, help them to, get to the final. I say
Right.
that. I can
For sure.
see that.
All you what in the Bible where it says all you need is a mustard seed of faith, and
Mm-hmm.
then if your superstar is giving you that mustard seed of faith and actions, hey man, it's bro, man, they're gonna do something. I mean, I might even jump out there. I might even jump out there right now.
Here we go.
I jump out there right now, man.
Do it.
I got Wolves in the Western Conference Finals, man. And well, I got Wolves in the NBA championship this year.
Ooh. All right. And that's
out.
gonna be a perfect note. That's a perfect note to close it on right there. Dalen Mason got the Timberwolves and Ant Edwards in the NBA Finals, taking out my pick of the OKC Thunder. I ain't mad at it though. I ain't mad at it. That'll be a huge story. They say you bugging, Dalen.
hey, man, look, I got some pretty nice shoulders, man. I can take it, but hey, I'm putting I'm standing on it, 10 toes.
Hey man, you can't give that faith to the Lakers no more. So you might as well throw it at Ant-Man. I got finished with a Laker jab.
And on that note, it's the closers.
It's the closers, y'all. Check us out tomorrow and every day in the fourth quarters of the last game of the night. You can catch me and Dalen, Jelani, Chris Perry, other people will pop in. We're going to get a special guest on here too. But until next time, peace.
Peace.